You all behave yourselves, otherwise you get detention. Okay. I arrived in Jacksonville, North Carolina on the 23rd of October, 1983. I came from Fayetteville. And that, of course, was the day of the bombing. So I was involved in this almost from the beginning because I was right over here at Camp Johnson, and I was doing liaison duty between the base and the city. That's how I got involved in this. Now, I have enough information to keep us busy here for about 3 months. But I'm not going to talk that long. I'm just going to give you a brief overview. And the emphasis I'm going to try to make is what the young people of this community did and are still doing to keep this memory alive. And you, as you listen to what I say, think about what you can do. Maybe for this project, for the, for years to come, or if you move out of the area and you go to someplace else, how you can volunteer or become an integral part of some other community service. Because it all started with Northwoods Park Middle School. It all started with you. There was a teacher there. Actually, there was a teacher and a substitute. Miss Martha Warren was a teacher at that school, and one of the young girls there, her friend was killed in the explosion, First Sergeant Battle. And she wanted to put a memorial tree outside the school to remember him, or remember all of those people, not just him, but in his honor and remembering all the people who died that day. Actually, 241 people died in that one explosion. That was the deadliest day in the Marine Corps since Iwo Jima, which was way back in 1945. You remember 1945, don't you? It was a good year. But I'm probably the only one in here that does remember it. But the thing is that this girl said, I want to plant a tree. Well, Miss Warren was talking to a friend of hers, Doris Downs, who was the chairman of the Beautification and Appearance Commission here for the city. And between the two of them, they started a little fundraiser to raise money for a tree. So Doris said, well, if we're going to do that, why can't we raise some money for trees for all of them? And we'll plant them along the median strip on Lejeune Boulevard. And eventually that's what happened. We had 272 trees planted, because there were other people who were killed in Beirut that were included in this, plus 4 from Grenada, for the total of 272, and 2 other people have since passed away, so there's 274 names that had to be honored. Well, that was quite a bit of money. And where did the money come from? It came from donations. We sent out the word, we want to put the trees out, we need to have some donations. So people started sending money in. Maybe $5 here, $1 there. Some kids, maybe put a quarter in a jar someplace. And all this money came together. And they said to themselves, well, we got all this money for these trees. Why don't we build a memorial at the same time? So we went out and we asked for more money. And in total, somewhere around $285,000 was donated to build the memorial that you see over here at the entrance to Camp Johnson, across from the cemetery. This was an effort that was all put together because one girl, I believe her name, I have to verify this because I wasn't there when it happened, but I believe it was Shannon Harris or something of that nature. Anyhow, I'll find out what the name is, because that's one of the things on my to-do list before I go on to something else. So, but she was a student at Northwoods Park Middle School. She started this whole thing. They actually raised money. It was a really big-time money-raising event. We held all kinds of functions in the county. We had a reverse raffle where somebody won a brand new Mercedes automobile, and the tickets, I believe, were, if I'm not mistaken, $100 a piece. But people bought all the tickets. There were 2 grandmothers that sent $5 a month grandmothers of the two of the people that are on the wall. They sent $5 a month out of their Social Security check to help fund this thing. There was a lady whose brother was a Marine, and her husband sent $1,000, just wrote a check for $1,000. And the Boilermakers Union, which is a national organization, they sent us, I believe it was $10,000, a check for $10,000. We also got $25,000 from the state of North Carolina to help do some of the landscaping and the parking lot. So it was a big contribution. I remember when I first came here, I went to the Golden Corral for dinner one night, and they had this big jar in there. It looked like an old pickle jar or something like that. And they said, buy a brick for the memorial. So they only asked for $1. So I put $1 in there. And every time I went there, I put another $1 in. And there were places all over town that were collecting dollars, $1 at a time. So this is where this memorial came from. It started with somebody just like you people sitting in these seats. If you think you're not going to do anything in life that's worthwhile, you may get surprised. You may have an opportunity to do something like this, meaningful. And that's what I want you to keep in mind. Now I'm going to go through the slideshow, and